Several Māori staff at Auckland's Unitec have resigned over what they say is institutionalised racism at the campus. The Unitec staff collective, Te Roopu Mataara, says Māori have been disrespected and staff and students feel culturally unsafe. Alice Stewart and visual journalist Dan Cook report on an institution at crisis point.
This morning at 10 a.m, around 300 people gathered from the community to stand with Tui Alu, who has resigned as the chair of the Runanga. Te Runanga, or Te Whare Wānanga or Wairaka, is Unitec's non-executive advisory group, which was founded in 1991 to ensure that they were considering how the Māori perspective was being represented and heard within the institution. Tui Alu, who has worked there for 21 years, cited disrespect shown to Māori. In protest, she removed her father's, Sir John Ture's, framed portrait from the Tertiary Institute and walked it down to the Te Noho Kotahinga Marae. Sir John Ture was a tūhoe rangatira and one of the most respected figures in Māoridom throughout his lifelong involvement with the community and the Waitangi Tribunal. Spokesperson and member of the Runanga, Hari Rua, says Tui and her whānau are devastated.
I feel for Tui. Obviously, taking down the photo is not an easy decision. And that's a reflection of how they feel right now with regard to our koroua, Te Ahi Kaiata, John Ture being removed from the walls of from all the whare here at Unitec.
Hari Rua said that Unitec had thrived under previous leadership with a model that prioritised listening and working alongside Māori. However, in August of 2020, the leadership changed and a new CEO, Gus Gilmore, was appointed. Hari Rua said that's when the situation deteriorated.
And now we've got this new leadership on board, and they didn't show really any interest in continuing with their model. So pretty much it's their model of Pākehā sitting on the top and then Māori sit underneath and follow instructions. That's the model which we weren't okay with as a runanga, and so we challenged the system, challenged the process, and put a view forward to sit the tumu Māori alongside the CEO, not answer to the CEO, but sit alongside, so you have their manorite again.
He says Te Tiriti o Waitangi is not being upheld at Unitec by the current leadership.
They can go back to government and they can say, oh, we consulted with Māori, we consulted with the runanga. I mean, really all it is ticking boxes, but they're not interested in actually sitting eye to eye and meeting and discussing some of the simple things that we as a runanga felt was really important.
Glenn McKay of Te Ariwa descent is Te Tumu, an executive director of student success at Unitec. He also resigned because of racism. Researcher and spokesperson Rahi Tēnana says without any Māori on the senior leadership team, they fear for their cultural safety.
We are leaderless and rudderless as Māori in this institution, and we have to ask ourselves who is going to look after our staff, who is going to really hold to that process. This is a very precarious position that we are in, but as a united group, we believe that we can sit and hold, strategise and think about how do we want to move forward.
Student Irene Farnham echoed similar feelings felt by others that spoke, calling out the CEO for not listening to their concerns as Māori.
One thing that was very clear to me is he did not see us, he did not hear us. There's been a breach of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, there's been a breach of our rights.
Unitec declined to be interviewed on Checkpoint, but provided a statement from the board chair, Peter Winder.
I acknowledge the sadness of this day. We also acknowledge the mana of the late Sir John Joseph Te Ahi Kaiata Ture, his immense contribution to Unitec, education and Aotearoa. Our board and institute leadership will continue open dialogue with Kaimahi and Te Runanga as we move forward from today. We are dedicated to effective partnership and honouring Te Tiriti principles in all that we do. We are committed to working towards a resolution of the issues raised so together we can support the future success of our students.
Ko Alice Stewart tēnei.